In this lecture, we will move one level up. Now I will add a test for a button click. That is, I will check that before clicking on a button, it is 0 and after the click it should be 1. It means from the test we will have to generate the click event. And to do so, we have two options. First is userEvent, which is a companion library of testing library, and the fireEvent method, which is again the part of React testing library only. In this lecture, I will do the click handling with fireEvent, and in the next lecture, I will show the same with userEvent and will also explain the difference between userEvent and fireEvent. So let's start the test. FireEvent method is directly available, so you just need to import it like this. So here I'm going to say comma FireEvent. Now let's start writing the test. I'll say test. On click, it should increment counter by 1. Then I'm going to write the function. Let's render the component first. So render counter. Now I need to get the reference of button element. So I'll say const btn element is equal to screen dot get by test id. Assume that I'm going to give btn as the attribute value. Then I also need to get the reference of counter. Const counter element is equal to screen dot get by test id cnt. Let's also write an expect statement that before any click, I just want to have the counter element dot text content. Now this is a property which gives you the value of the content. Initially we used get by text method, so we did not need to worry about the content, but now we get the reference of the element when we are using the get by test id. So to refer the content of the element, we use text content property. So here counter element dot text content, then to be 0, so it has to be 0 before the click. Now comes the click event of button, so I'll say fireEvent dot. Now as you can see that there are many events, but we just want to have the click event, so I'll say click and which element you want to click. So here I want to click the btn-el, which contains the reference of this button. So btn-el, and now after this click I expect the counter element to have text content to be 1. In fact, we also have a matcher called to have text content, but at the moment I am dealing with this. Later we will see other matchers as well. Matcher is basically this to be which you see is the matcher. There are other matchers as well, so we will see as we proceed. Now let's save this. And still the test does not pass. Can you guess why? Yes, it's because I'm using the get by test id method for the btn, but not yet assigned that value to the attribute, that is data test id. So let's go to counter.js, and here I will say data test id is equal to btn. Now let's save this. There you go with your successful test. So this is how you can deal with the click event. In fact, any event you want to deal with, you can from your test, whether it is selection, whether it is typing, mouse related events, etc.